Today we're going to try Subway's new Mozza meat sub. More importantly, the new ingredients that are on it, which is Capicola, or Capicolo, I'm sorry, and fresh mozzarella. Those are the new ingredients, and they have something called MVP vinaigrette, which is also on here. I got the sub the way that they advertised it. I didn't change anything to it. It's got black forest ham, the Capicolo, the fresh mozzarella, banana peppers, onions, tomatoes, and the vinaigrette. So that all sounds okay to me. I don't usually get banana peppers, but I do like them on occasion, so I don't have a problem with that. The sun is kind of screwing things up. There we go. Let it focus. You see that fresh mozzarella in there? It's actually looks pretty good. I'm going to try to give you a better view of the Capicolo real fast. Here we go. There it is. Doesn't look too appetizing. We'll see. And then we've got the fresh mozzarella underneath there, which looks actually pretty good. Hopefully it tastes good. These are the new items that they added, and this is the sub that had them all on it, so I got it. There's a couple other subs that have these items on them too. There's a Supreme Meat sub, which seems like a pretty good deal. It has a bunch of different meats on it, Supreme Meats. But the mozzarella as an addition is pretty expensive, and so is the Capicolo. They were like $3 for additions compared to the normal price. Whatever. Also, use code FREESUB for buy one get one free sub. That generally works all the time. It definitely works right now. If you're watching this video in early March, definitely works. But it's been working for a long time. So free sub in the coupon code, you can buy one get one free, which is always the way to go. This sub was $10.59 actually, which is very expensive. But again, I bought one, got one free, so it ended up being two for that price, as it should be for anybody who's going to Subway. Always use the code FREESUB. Now let's take a bite. Smell the vinaigrette. It smells pretty good. Let me get in here. Oh. Now, I'm actually fairly impressed by this stuff from Subway. Normally, I wouldn't say that about Subway. I can't say I've been impressed by Subway in a long time. Their new roast beef I didn't like. It's Subway. I'm fairly impressed, but I'm not so blown away by the ingredients themselves, but I'm fairly impressed with the composition of this sandwich as a whole. Eating the first few bites of this, it's great. I think that the banana peppers are a great choice. Everything comes together, and it's a kind of Italian sub. And it's probably one of the better subs I've ever had from Subway, for sure. Up there with my favorite, like the sweet onion chicken teriyaki and stuff like that. I think that this, for Subway, is a solid sandwich. I like the composition of it. I think that the fresh mozzarella adds something to it, but what it doesn't add is flavor, necessarily. I took some of it off to try on its own. There was some more right there. I took it off just to eat on its own, to try it along with the Capicolo. The mozzarella doesn't really have much taste. I gotta be straight up. It tastes almost like nothing. A little salt maybe, but overall it almost tastes like nothing. It's a good thickness though, and what it does add is creaminess. It has a texture of creaminess, which really enhances the sub, but it doesn't have a mozzarella taste really at all. I don't know how they accomplish that, but it's tasteless. Does add a nice texture though. The Capicolo, on the other hand, does have a taste, and it's not necessarily a taste I like. I've been going back and forth. I'm not sure, like I said, I'm not sure I like the Capicolo. I don't hate it, but trying it on its own, it just kind of tasted like cheaper, like ham, honestly. It doesn't taste like Capicolo, like a good one you'd get cut at the deli or something like that. It tastes cheap. It tastes overly seasoned, so it's the opposite problem of the mozzarella. And it's more just like ham. It definitely is different from the Black Forest ham they have, which doesn't taste like Black Forest ham either. It tastes like cheap ham, but a different kind of cheap ham, a different seasoned cheap ham. So you got two cheap hams on here, and the tasteless kind of cheese, but it does add texture. But together, the whole sandwich together is something special. And I think the vinaigrette has a lot to do with it. I think this vinaigrette is amazing. The banana peppers come in, the onions. Honestly, the meat could be almost anything. It doesn't even matter. If it was some other kind of meat, it might not even really make a difference to the overall flavor profile of the sandwich itself. The sandwich itself is good. If it was turkey, unless it was a strong flavor, it wouldn't make too much difference, because these ones kind of blend in with the entirety of the sandwich. Even though the Capicolo is a little bit of a strong seasoning, in the structure of the sandwich, I hope this is making sense, the overall structure of the sandwich, it doesn't really matter. What matters is everything else that comes together. What you get is the taste of the vinaigrette and the banana peppers and the onions, and you get the texture or the creaminess of the mozzarella. The meat is almost there as a texture thing as well. You don't really taste much of it. That's my point of this Mozza meat sub that the son is getting. Pretty good. Individually, I don't think the items themselves are that good. I wouldn't add them onto anything. But I think if you're going to get this Mozza meat sub, the taste is there. Honestly, you might be better off just getting a sub and adding the vinaigrette to it. I'm not sure if adding the vinaigrette costs money or not. I think the vinaigrette would be a free addition. I would honestly, you'd probably be better off adding that to a sub that you like just to try it out. Add some of that and some banana peppers. You get that nice like Italian sub taste. I associate it with an Italian sub, the banana peppers and the vinaigrette. Really good together, but as I said, now that I go through it in my head, I was going to give this a different score in the beginning, but now that I've been talking through it, I'm going to have to give it a 3, based on the fact that the actual Capicola and the meat of this sub is not really a big part of it. The overall sub together, though, is good, but also $10.49 is a ridiculous price if you're getting this on its own. So with all that in mind, I'm going to give it a 3, but I do actually really like the overall, as I said, the overall composition of this sub. But the Capicola itself, you can generally avoid, I think. And the mozzarella, also you can avoid, unless you want to add a creamy texture sandwich, but I don't think it'd be worth the add-on price of $3, which I believe is the add-on price for another sub. But try the vinaigrette. If you're at Subway and you're using your free sub coupon and you're getting some cheap subs like the Spicy Italian, that's the way I go. I usually get the Spicy Italian because they're like $6 something. You can get 2 of them, and then you're out of the door for $7 for 2 Spicy Italian sandwiches. Put the vinaigrette on there. I think you might enjoy that. And that's it for Subway. Their new ingredients. Not the best, not the worst. Middle of the road. But their new sandwich, when you get it all together the way that they said to make it, is pretty good. So I'll see you next time.